Hey guys, it's me, Vinny Lospinuso. I'm back with another video, another vlog, and I haven't done one of these in a little while. I'm going to do a movie review, and for the first time, I'm going to do a movie review for a film that, first time since the second Sonic movie. This is a movie review of a movie I just saw in theaters. Of course, I'm talking about Oppenheimer. No, not Oppenheimer fun. It's about the guy who created the atomic bomb, J. Robert Oppenheimer. Directed by Christopher Nolan and starring Cillian Murphy as the title character, J. Robert Oppenheimer. And I gotta say, this movie is amazing. Christopher Nolan always makes great movies, and this is one of his best movies. It's up there with The Dark Knight and Interstellar as some of his best work ever. The writing, the way that he wrote this script from the biography American Prometheus, just felt like normal people talking to each other. Like, it did not feel like it was scripted at all. It felt very, very natural and very organic from the beginning of the movie to the very, very end. And this is a long movie, 3 hours long. The acting. Oh my God, the acting from every single person did an incredible job. Cillian Murphy deserves an Oscar. That is how good he was. Also, Louis Strauss. He also deserves, Robert Downey Jr., who plays Louis Strauss, also deserves an Oscar. Robert Downey Jr. also deserves an Oscar for this performance. After many, many years of me growing up with him as Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he shows, he isn't typecasted there. He delivers an unbelievable performance as Strauss. Emily Blunt plays Kitty Oppenheimer, who also did an amazing job. Sorry if you hear my dog in the background. She does an incredible performance. She's someone in the shadows, but whenever she has a speaking role, she delivers in every way possible. Matt Damon plays Leslie Groves, one of the generals. He's amazing as well. And you have many other actors in this movie too. This movie has an ensemble cast of ensemble casts. Florence Pugh, Rami Malek, Tony Goldwyn, James D'Arcy, Dane DeHaan, Josh Peck, Devin Bostic, Jack Quaid, Benny Safdie, Alex Wolff, Gary Oldman, Tom Conti. Who else is in this movie? David Dalsmalshin. The list goes on and on and on with how many actors I was able to recognize in the movie alone. Kenneth Branagh too, Casey Affleck. I'm even thinking about them just as I'm just talking about the movie. That's how massive the cast was. And I heard that a lot of them took pay cuts to be in this movie, which tells you how much they respect Christopher Nolan and how much they want to give forward for an amazing performance in this movie, as not just as characters, as real people. They were portraying real people in this movie. And granted, for some of them like Josh Peck, because I knew them for many years, it almost did kind of take me out a little bit. But then again, that's because I know Josh Peck. They did an amazing job. Plain and simple, they did an amazing job in this role. And I would not be shocked in the slightest if this movie wins an award for Best Ensemble Cast, because it absolutely deserves it, from top to bottom. The special effects, there was no CGI in this movie. As Christopher Nolan said, there was not a single bit of CGI in this movie. They use actual practical smoke effects to give the illusion of an actual nuke going off. No, he didn't actually set off a real nuke. No, he didn't. But they did do an amazing job with that. The score, this movie is really, really good. It's really intense. It shows the thoughts going on with Oppenheimer's feelings during the time. Though there are a couple times where I feel like the score gets so loud it sometimes drowns out the dialogue a little bit. But outside of that, I thought the score was really fine. The running time, even though it was 3 hours, I didn't really mind it personally. Mostly because, Oppenheimer is a really complex individual. And as a result, he's going to have a very... It felt really, really well 4 or 3 hours. I mean, you could have easily let this movie go on for another 2 hours. I wouldn't have complained. But it was so engaging. It was so engaging. And someone like me who is a history buff, someone who is able to detail this. And it shows, you know, Oppenheimer wasn't that this evil guy who wanted to destroy the world. He's someone that had empathy and guilt and feelings, and you all could see that there's many people in his ear during the time. A lot of people telling him different things. That's all very much in this movie. It's a very complex movie with a very complex character. For the narrative style, it's an out of ordinary narrative. You have some parts at like one point in his life, one in another, one in one earlier part. Then it goes somewhat narratively, and then it goes through, then it shows a flash forward, and then it shows to the scene with Albert Einstein. It sort of bookends with Albert Einstein, Tom Conti as Albert Einstein, who does an amazing performance as Einstein. Just everything about this movie was amazing. Like, it was very historically accurate. It showed the characters. Really, you could just see the movie through J. Robert Oppenheimer's eyes. In the scenes where it's in color, that's Oppenheimer's perspective. And when it's in black and white, it's from the perspective of Louis Strauss. It's from his perspective, from what he sees. And it plays it very, very well. Robert Downey Jr. isn't in the movie a lot, but he steals every scene he's in. He was incredible in this movie. I cannot stress that enough, how good he was. Cillian Murphy, my God, he was incredible. I'm still thinking about this movie right now. Like, it also shows, like, after you leave the movie, you have some concern of how the future is going to be, because we've been living in a world post the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. We're living in a world where nuclear threats are the norm, especially when it was during the Cold War. Obviously, it's subsided over the years, but there's still a threat that Russia could nuke Ukraine or whatnot. There's a fear that if someone drops a bomb, we could be in a nuclear war. A war that could literally kill everyone. And that's terrifying. And you also could tell that the people in charge, you can't exactly trust them for a lot of reasons. And I like how this movie showed us that. This movie was just unbelievable. One of the best pictures of the... Well, I think it is one of the best pictures of the year. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Warner Brothers was very foolish to let Christopher Nolan go off to Universal and make this movie. Granted, don't feel too bad for them, because Barbie released the same day for the Barbenheimer release, and it did unbelievably well, so they're okay financially. Don't be worried for them, but granted, that's the only movie that made money. All the other ones bombed, so maybe you should feel bad for them. But for Universal, very good for you. Good for you in nabbing Christopher Nolan to make this masterpiece. I'm going to give Christopher Nolan 10 out of 10, 5 stars out of 5, or at the very least, like, 4.5 out of 5. The movie's a masterpiece, plain and simple. I mean, there's movies I think are really, really good, but also my own personal taste. But Oppenheimer was just a way better movie than those. One of the best historical dramas ever. Just an unbelievable movie. And it should get nominated for a whole bunch of awards. And a lot of people will be upset if it doesn't. Thanks, guys, for watching. I want to like this video if you haven't already. Hit subscribe for Zennie62 Media for more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.